Greetings, cyberspace cadets. It's the IRATE Prostate here, and we've got another wonderful edition of the CREEM stream. It's episode number 14, the 14th Friday we've all been together. This is amazing, and we've got a fantastic guest tonight, and we got a couple other stragglers that will be in shortly. Before we get going, let's introduce the person that we're gathered pun intended to hang out with. Jeremy,
oh, man.
Say hi to the quartering amigos and amigasitas. Quartering.
Hey everyone.
All right, and we also have Silver Blade.
Hello.
And Geek.
It's up.
It's the Geek Thulu, everybody, and the red and only, one and only red and only. She's here in spirit at the moment, but she will be joining us. So, yeah,
just tending to the monsters.
It's been a crazy week for some of us in here, and just kind of want to ease into this thing a little bit. Start, like they say, with the tip, and just easing in a little bit. Jeremy,
gotta lead it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Got to lead up to it. Jeremy's been really what got me got me to want to have you on the show to begin with. Was actually I was really loving the stuff that you were doing on your news channel. I didn't know anything about the Unsleeved or any of the stuff, or the Claw, that channel too. That's fascinating stuff. The news, what you were covering, the whole deal with the what was it, that virtual reality device thing, that story, a couple of the other things that you had reported on, kind of my ears stuck up, and I said, I want to check out and talk to this dude and see what he's all about. And then this week happened, and I'm like, holy shit, there's some stuff going on here. You want to just go ahead and just tell us a little bit about your perception on this deal, about the Magic the Gathering community, and I think I'm about the only one in here that really hadn't played Magic the Gathering more than one or two times. Everybody else here is pretty much I would say seasoned veterans with the game.
Yeah, retired.
But everybody, and even Occam, he played his first game when he gets here. He played his first game last Sunday, and he said he fell in love with it. He's in love with the game. So this is obviously an addictive and fun game, and has a huge following.
That's why it's called cardboard crack.
Yeah. That's an interesting. I've never heard that term, but it sounds apropos. So, Jeremy, you want to tell us a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. Thanks to everyone in chat who's hanging out. I've played Magic since Revised, so 1995, 94, 96, somewhere around there. On and off, as most Magic players do, because it's expensive. And, as with all hobbies, sometimes you get sick of it. And so you leave and you come back. And for a lot of the hobbies, when you come back, it's not there anymore. What's unique about Magic is this stood the test of time. We're having the 25th anniversary this year. And that's something to be admired, respected, and even touted. I started YouTubing Magic maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I built what at one time was the largest channel out there. It's currently the 3rd largest, and the community and I have had a couple of run-ins over the years, but first and foremost, when it comes to Magic and community issues, what we're really talking about is a really small portion of it, the Twitter and the Reddit community, which is basically the same ideologically, specifically, and outside of a couple of run-ins, it's been a pretty smooth ride. Currently, the issue is 6 months ago, apparently, I was harsh in some criticism, so you could even say mean, of a cosplayer's reaction. I think to fairly describe it without emotion is, she is a cosplayer and just so happens to, put a lot of do a lot of sexual cosplays, and some poor, 14-year-old socially awkward kid left the horrible comment of, "I came for your cosplay, but I left with a boner." And and so she tweeted this out and shamed this kid or whatever. And I was live streaming, and so I was making fun of her obvious overreaction. And then the wave of Knight's miladying in her replies. That was really it. It was like 5 minutes. And fast forward 6 months later, and hundreds of videos from me long beyond of one random stream, this cosplayer puts out a tweet that says, "I'm quitting Magic the Gathering cosplay due to specifically continued harassment by Unsleeved Media." And I mean, the amount of White Knight fedora tipping that was going on was nuclear levels for the past 3 or 4 days. I mean, I've been getting death threats, people calling I had to change my cell phone number. Yeah, it was just the same old thing, right? And the community, the Wizards tends to surround themselves with people they agree with. And so a lot of vocal members of the community were just into listen and believe. And so they started demanding I get a lifetime ban from attending any major events or competing in any even casual sanctioned events. And oftentimes people just buckle and apologize. Well, of course, I don't do that. And while I freely admit I was probably too harsh, I don't apologize for my opinion. I'm allowed to have an opinion. And generally, with the authoritarian type of people, in my experience, now 2 major outrages trying to get me banned, they don't like that very much. They really hate it. And so they've been, just saying horrendous things about me, lying about me in videos. And fortunately, the community outside of the Magic community has come to my defense, and I'm so very thankful for that. And these stream opportunities like this, and like Count Dankula did a fabulous video that entirely debunks the claims against me, and nobody cares. Like, people have made up their mind, as with drama goes. And right now, as of today, I had planned on, when we came to the stream, being banned by now, but they haven't banned me yet. My number's still active. I called my local game store. And I think that's probably because they knew better. Like, they're going to ban me, I'm certain, but they probably well, let's let this die down before we ban them. And it's a frightening precedent when the maker of a cardboard game wants to appoint themselves the social media, wrong think patrol, and not just print cards.
This seems to be the tendency that people will jump to one conclusion or another. And honestly, I wish more people would actually just wait and see where things are, or investigate, or look into it. But I think the way you responded to it was very well. I think you made a really good response to it. You weren't judgmental. I mean, I watched the one with the professor. I even gave him credit for the way he responded, even though, everybody could tell he looked like, he was reading cards from off the camera. But, I mean, you've been really fair about it. And with the videos I've watched of yours, you don't seem to be the stereotypical neckbeard, anti-feminine type person. And I watched your thing about the new Ultimate card with Spike. And all the points you made were very valid with that. And it wasn't because she was a woman. It's just because it didn't represent Magic as a whole. And it was the entire thing, not just, you know, male or female. And I think that's where a lot of people get confused. They're just like, oh, no, it's either, you know, pro-feminine or pro-male. They can't walk a fine line, apparently.
Yeah, a lot of people, whenever I make a video like that, there's a wave of miladying. And they don't actually listen to what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with female cards. Are you kidding me? Like, that's so absurd. I have a problem with fake narratives. Like, you literally name the card Spike Tournament Grinder. If you've ever been to a tournament, you know, incoming hate fact, there are no women.
There's not.
I go to events with, I went to Grand Prix Milwaukee last December. There's 1,500 competitors and I counted like 2 women. And I mean, fine, right? I mean, more women is better, but also what's better than that is just more players. And so they do stuff like this, and I point it out, and people tend to jump to this, like, he hates women, as opposed to he hates hypocrisy and like forced diversity kind of thing. And it's you know, it's the same thing that like diversity in comics gets in trouble with a lot of these brigades for, you know, it's like,
oh yeah,
it's such an easy thing to say, you know, it's so low intellect, it's intellectually dishonest to be like, oh, well, what, do you have a problem with women? No, that's not what I said. And
it has nothing to do with intellect. It has everything to do with emotion.
Yeah, that's probably a better way to put it. You're right. And a lot of these people are so emotionally driven. That's why, you know, to be honest, not to pat myself on the back, but there are few people in this world equipped to have dealt with the shitstorm that I dealt with and not back down. And
oh yeah, a lot of people crumble. I mean, we try to tell people a lot. It's like, if you're going to be online, a YouTuber or on Twitter, or you have to be prepared to deal with the love and the hate, because you're going to get a lot of hate.
Absolutely.
And you have to stand on your own. You can't expect, you know, like, we all have fans or people, friends, whatever, that will back us, but you also got to be able to stand alone. And if you just cower to all that, then you're kind of giving it to them. You know, they win, and that emboldens them and makes them want to do it even more.
Yeah,
basically,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you just got to not care about people that hate you online. Like, you just have to learn to just not care. If you don't care, then it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, not so much, I wouldn't say it's so much of caring or not caring, but not showing that you care. Because you could care about something and be passionate about it one way or the other and just don't give any reaction. I mean, don't give good reaction. And I think Jeremy's done a really good job of that. Is he responds, he doesn't react.
Well, thank you. But this is the second time in a year I've had to go through this, and I learned a lot last time. You know, I scrambled to be defiant, and then I apologized, and there were a couple people in my life that brought me under their wing and kind of showed me how to deal with this sort of thing, to the types of books. You know, reading something like Rules for Radicals will make you extraordinarily effective at dealing with these sorts of things. Thomas Paine, stuff like that. And it's just like the second time around now, I feel so much more confident and so much more because I have my own like moral standards. I know what I believe, and I feel firmly in it, and I won't bend the knee. And what's happening is the tide's turning, and as people, you know, continue to flail, I can just tell there's more and more people. Like, I mean, it is creepy what's going on in like the Magic Reddit. They are banning and silencing, permanently banning anyone who even remotely asks for proof. And even though everybody in the outside of Reddit knows that Sprankle lied, you know, they don't care, and they're like scrubbing threads, and they just want to push this narrative, and really they just make themselves look bad. You know, like, yes, people that already didn't like me are just going to see this as another reason to not like me, but anybody on the fence who really cares to know more is going to see it, and to me that's a win. Like, it's not about convincing everybody. You'll drive yourself insane doing that. It's just,
Oh yeah,
you've gotta stand by what you say and hope that some percentage of people will take the time to learn.
yeah. No, see, I live in Washington State, and we used to have a WotC up in Seattle, and oh my God, that place was amazing. And it was they were just starting out the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess, really pushing for that. And even though there was a ton of us females that we would go and play the arcade games, or we'd go with our boyfriends and we'd watch. There were many times that guys would offer us, but hey, we'll teach you how to play. And I'd play, but then I'd get bored and I'd want to play something else and spend, because it got to be really expensive. It was just an insane amount of money. And we were talking about this before you joined us pre-show, but in my school district, all these other kids had tons of money to just throw at the game. And not even like a few months later, they were like, meh, I'll go do something else. It's like people will get passionate about Magic for a while and then walk away. And honestly, the women that get passionate about it, from my experience, and I'll turn 38 here soon, all the women the girls I grew up with and the girls I see nowadays, and my daughters, even, they're like, I would rather put my money into something else. I don't mind people playing, and they might play Magic on the Xbox, the card game there, to where they don't really have to buy in or anything, and they can still have the fun, but they don't want to go to tournaments. They don't want to be in that. And it's not because the men are oppressing them or it's a hostile environment.
It
but
smells, that's why.
Well, it's
I
not
don't
just
like that
but
either.
Because, and see, I'm more of a tomboyish type girl, and even I find other things to do, like actual video games to go play, or they used to have the mech suit that you could get into and play a video game there at that
I remember that
store.
game.
Yeah, I mean, those are the kinds of things we play.
Well,
or I'd buy the Warhammer figurines and play those. So,
and my standpoint, which is a bit of a hate fact, has always been simple in that there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with people making their own choices about things they like. And to be honest, what really triggered me was when Mark Rosewater publicly said that something like 72% of women have felt harassed, and when pressed for literally any evidence for this absurd claim, he pointed. This is, by the way, the head of R&D with 50,000 Twitter followers or whatever.
So he's speaking specifically about the game, right?
Yeah, and the
people
players
dealing with, right?
The players of the game, really specifically the men, right?
Right.
And so people are like, what? Or he said something about tons of women are harassed, and so people are like, bro, show me the receipts. And he's like, oh, well, here's this Twitter poll that proves it. So then
oh my God, that's like going to Wikipedia for facts.
I'm dead serious. So then I made a video where I said that Mark Rosewater was in a lot of trouble because I also launched a Twitter poll, and I said, I think the poll said something like, please answer, has Mark Rosewater ever sexually assaulted you? Please be honest, internet. And then of course, 100 people said he did. So then I did this video. Basically, they don't get a lot of these crazy authoritarians. They don't get satire. They don't get humor. And they're like, oh my God, you accuse him of being a pedophile. I'm like, no, you moron. I showed how stupid he is for using a Twitter poll. Twitter polls are fine if you're going to name your boat. They're not great when you're talking about the entirety of 12 million players of your game.
That's amazing. You had mentioned earlier about the white knights. It's like there's one thing I can't stand more than a white knight in this type of situation are the people, and it's not just women. There's guys that do this shit too. That they deliberately put themselves in a position so where they can claim some type of victimhood, and then they call out their quote army of white knights, and it's it's kind of, you know, it just makes me want to puke, man, when I see this kind of crap, because it's like you said, it's dishonest and disingenuous at best. And I also think it's a way to obscure, you know, their own, you know, their own dishonesty, I guess is the best way to put it.
Well, and that sort of thing's usually followed by a Patreon link too, which is so transparent. Yeah,
indeed, man.
Some of them just do it because they want a piece of that ass.
Yeah.
Well, and they ain't getting none. I mean, that's the reality is that, you know, you can keep throwing money at that shit all day long, but you're not getting it. There's some dude that lives, you know, that's living with her right now that's getting all that, and he doesn't play Magic, and he, you know, and he's probably, you know, very athletic. You know,
yeah, they're both laughing at you.
Exactly, and they're laughing.
But you also got to realize, and this is something that is endemic with all of the SJWs and the far left, is they don't live in our reality.
No.
They live in the reality in their head. You know, these white knights that wants the piece of ass, they think, well, no matter what, if I make her happy enough, if I appeal to her enough, I'll get some ass. Unrealizing that the reality is it ain't happening. Not,
well,
no matter how much you pay for it.
That's most people though on social media. Period. I mean, go insult like Jeff Holiday and watch how many fucking people jump your shit over it.
Well, that's not so much about getting a piece of ass. It's just tribalism. My team versus your team.
Notice me, senpai.
Yeah.
Oh my God! This guy, this person over here, White Squall, made a good point. He said, when I started gaming in the 90s, gamers were not cool. Most gamers I knew were bullied for it in school, and girls were even commonly the perpetrators. Only when Pokemon came out, things changed, and a lot of those girls excluded themselves because it wasn't cool. And yeah, that was, you know, even though it was, you know, a rich kid game when they started throwing money at it, it was still the rich nerds that played it. It wasn't everybody. It was, you know, the outcasts, those on the you know, the outside of the in groups, and they would play it at lunch and they'd still get made fun of for it. You know, yeah. And now those popular girls that used to make fun of the nerds for it are doing cause.
Well, that's why when I was in high school, we went to a teacher's room and did it in the classroom with a teacher. It was nice to have the teacher play too, but we did it separate from the lunchroom so we didn't get harassed.
It's interesting. One thing I've noticed, being in the younger generation of people, is it seems like in my generation somehow, like, you know, the past tropes of, like, you know, nerds being like, you know, the bullied people and stuff, now like almost like nerd culture is almost like a cool, like, hip thing that people want to do or something, or emulate. Like, people love to emulate nerd culture now. Now it's like you'll have like popular cool kids, you know, trying to emulate nerd culture and stuff, like all the video games and the stuff like that.
Now counterculture is considered cool, whereas before it wasn't. Fitting in was what was cool before. Now it's all about a counterculture is considered edgy and cool.
Yeah, the new counterculture is like playing sports.
My oldest daughter turned 8.
You know, if you look at the Breakfast Club, Breakfast Club, the popular people wouldn't be popular, and the unpopular people would be considered popular.
Revenge of the Nerds. The thing people don't seem to realize is back when, like, I was in high school in 92 to 95, you know, nerds were the, you know, the victim class, I guess, or the looked down on class. But we grew up and now we own everything. Facebook, MySpace, Twitter. Well, not MySpace, Twitter, all that. They're all run by nerds.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, which makes actual nerds turn into gatekeepers. And then, like, a lot of this, in my opinion, is, gosh, I mean, sorry if I've already said it, like, literally stop me if I've already said this, because this is my 4th stream today. And again, I appreciate you guys having me on, but when weak people who are bullied in their, I mean, I don't mean to be, I'm not intentionally being mean, but this is just how I see it. When weak-willed people who were maybe bullied when they were young or whatever, they get a little bit of power, they always abuse it. they turn into the monsters that they hated when they were young. And that is true of a lot of these Magic players who get a little, they get a little platform. They get a little platform. Now they have a YouTube channel. Wizards of the Coast is flying them out to this or flying them out to that. And then all of a sudden, they're the ones who are going to stick their finger in your face and tell you how you're supposed to act. And I reject that, emphatically. And that's what a lot of this is. They're like, oh, we're cool now. Oh, I'm drunk with coolness. Like I have 1,000 Twitter followers. And they end up, being garbage. And it's so easy. These people are they're really insecure, right? Like I post a meme of one of the guys that was talking shit about me, and then he goes and cries on a live stream last night, making up lies saying I was demanding my fans look up things about his personal history and all this. Like, he just couldn't handle a freaking meme. So I asked my fans to meme myself, turned me into a green frog, and it's just like, can we not be completely incapable of dealing with humor, and can we just not be such babies? And they can't.
It's funny you say that, because my personal Facebook profile, my avatar picture is Pepe doing the OK symbol, and I go to a lot of local news channels for news, or some of the other groups that relate to politics, and just kind of throw a little bit of that meme love on the world, and I have to hide everything in my profile and make it just so my friends can see it, because it's crazy. The first thing they do is, oh, this guy said something I don't like. I must know everything about him and utterly destroy him. So they'll go through and oh, he's got a niece, a nephew, a mom, a dad, a brother, a sister, an uncle, a cousin. Let's go pick on them. Oh, this is their background. This is how racist they are. This is how this, that, and that, everything. And so I just had to basically private everything on my Facebook, just so that people would attack the idea and not me, the person. That's just how they roll.
It's scary, isn't it? I mean, I had people sending me emails with my parents' name and address, and I'm just like, can you literally not handle someone disagreeing with you on the freaking internet? How do you leave your house? I want to know how these people, if they go to McDonald's and order a cheeseburger, and if they say "Ooh, we're out of cheese," what do they do? I mean, what do they? I mean, how do they even live? How are they not self-immolating in the street when things don't go their way in real life?
It's people it's people like that who can never, ever be cool. You can never be truly cool and actually genuinely like it. Then you can be cool. But you'll never be cool if you can't make fun of yourself.
Yeah, that's step one,
laugh
right?
at yourself.
Right.
Gotta make. Look, I mean, I honestly,
it's a building block.
Yeah, you have to be able to meme on yourself, because those are some of the best memes. You can't take yourself so serious, and if you do, I don't that's okay. Just don't go on the internet then, or don't get involved in the conversations.
That's why I like to say I'm really big on self-defecating humor.
Oh,
I like that.
Waka.
Well, yeah, it was I remember, I don't know when it was, but I figured it out, and I think I said in one of my videos that YouTube and Twitter were the one place you could go and be everybody that you hated in high school.
Yeah.
And is in the stuff that you're talking about, it's interesting because you were you one of the people that put together that MythCon?
No, I just attended, and I happened to know Carl, so I was hanging out with him a lot. So I ended up in the
Carl who? AKA who?
Sargon.
Sorry, Sargon. Yeah.
Name the drop.
Boom, humble brag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was hanging out with him, so I made a lot of content about MythCon, because I was there, and that was really kind of what started TheQuartering channel, was all that MythCon drama, and I got lucky enough to catch Thomas Smith being a complete moron. and that was fun for me.
He did a good enough job of that before it made it to MythCon.
That's true. That's true. That was my first interaction with him, to be honest with you. I didn't think people like. I mean, I'm just a guy, like Midwest guy. Like I didn't think people acted like that in real life. I was kind of like, whoa, this is real. This guy's really actually triggered in real life. Like he could just leave and enjoy Milwaukee. There's a lot of stuff going on, but instead he's over here acting like a complete idiot.
Sad to say, but after 10 years working in the comic shop that I did, I had seen a lot of guys with that kind of mentality. Maybe not so much into politics, but like if they didn't like how a game was going, they'd pick up their cards and go home, kind of thing. Kind of like how he did at the end of that talk with Sargon. I've seen it many times in different layers, different levels, different subjects, really, not just, like I said, not just politics, but it takes all kinds, I guess.
Yeah, it's at what point do you self-deselect? I mean, you gotta live. I would never hold it against somebody for just like opting out of this stuff, because life's short.
It is, and it's too short to be like spun out in the eddy of this fucking drama, man. That just it seems like it's all consuming at times. It's like, and it comes out of just nowhere. It's just out of butthurtness and fifis, man.
That's very true.
Sometimes I wonder if they're actually as upset as they really are, other than they're just sort of virtue signaling to the community that they're part of.
A little from column A, a little from column B, actually.
Yeah, that's part of it for sure, I would say.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Jeremy, when you earlier during the Borski thing that you did, you said something that really stuck out to me. And I really thought it was a very wise thing. You said, "Don't silence the bad ideas, people," you said, "Give them a megaphone." What was that? Will you phrase that the way that you did? Because that was really hit me.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I remember, it was just that's my. We were talking about something about trying to silence people. People are, so obsessed with silencing people, and I think the better way is to not silence, but to amplify bad ideas, because there's so much easy, like the best, sunlight's the best disinfectant kind of thing. Like, all right, as opposed to this whole thing, like people are always trying to deplatform a guy like Richard Spencer, for example, and like. That's the exact opposite of what I would do. Give him the floor and let him talk about whatever ideas he has, and like people will see them for what they are. But instead, if you silence them, then they go underground and they build a following, and before you know it, they have all. You know what I mean? Like you should not silence people. You should let them give their stupid ideas.
They're carrying tiki torches and shit, and with their eyes out shirts and shit.
Jeremy,
right.
Jeremy, you just became the American version, straight American version of Milo Yiannopoulos, because I heard the exact same things that you just said from him, almost verbatim, without you even knowing, probably.
Huh. Well, I consider that a compliment, because I think while Milo is a damaged individual, one thing I do respect is his willingness to just say it, and he believes what he says, at least I think.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. You can tell when somebody's buying what they're selling. Occam?
The way I see it, like people that, get all triggered and try to, do all that crazy stuff we've been talking about, I kind of think that people that do things like that are kind of operating from like their primal human brain instinct, like not like civilized human brain instinct. Like I'm talking like old, like time, like primal caveman type instinct, where it's like, oh, someone like is,
they're using their lizard brain.
Yeah, like someone's like disagreeing. Like, how like back a long time ago in the ancient tribal times, if you said something that went against what you know, the tribe thought it would kill you or something.
You're,
like
you're a
that.
heretic,
Or
right?
it was
Like
just,
it would just kill you. Yeah, yep, yeah. Totally.
Occam's a witch, burn him.
Like, you know, you just, it's like that kind of just like the most base human primal brain level of like responding to things instead of like using the brain power, you know, that we have.
Yeah,
to, you know, come to a civilized.
I call that the knee jerk type of person. You got two types. You got the knee jerks, you got the thinkers. If you go to somebody and say, "Hey, want to go clubbing for baby seals?" If the first thing they do is get offended, they're a knee jerk. If they laugh about it, chances are they're a thinker, because at least they see the humor. They read into it the humor in it, that it's not being serious. But the knee jerks, they don't read into it. It's the first primal, like you were saying, Occam, reaction is to just flip the shit.
Right. It's like offense is always taken, you know, and that's the when I first heard that, it made so much sense to me. It's like you know, the information that you throw out at somebody, whether they get offended or not, is up to them.
Well, it pays to be a victim these days, because you get so many lovely benefits, and it doesn't cost you much.
Yeah,
well, you also have, I think, at the most basic level, you can look at something like electricity. It always takes a path of least resistance. This is not dissimilar, in my opinion, where sometimes how people approach thought or things in life, right? Like, it's so easy to be offended, and it's much more difficult to understand nuance. And so I can understand why most people just, you know, life is hard. It's busy. I mean, all of us are probably at one time or the other this week, like, you know, just been like, I'm going to have this instant reaction to something because I just don't even have time to think about it. And so I think that in and of itself probably leads to whether somebody is a reactor or a thinker on certain things.
I think another thing about it is that, you know, we do have things real easy these days. I mean, the internet, the technology that we can carry with us anywhere to access the net, connect to others, it's made us lazy. Back 25 years ago, like when Magic first came out, this stuff was just starting. You know, the cell phones were flip tops, and you didn't have text and all that bullshit. The internet started off with a whole, you know, all that crap.
Yeah. Well, remember having to wait. If you guys are all old retired Magic players, you'll remember this. Remember having to wait for like the newest episode holy crap, issue of like STREEM magazine to figure out what your cards are worth. Like, I used to have to get my card prices from a magazine, and for an entire month, that card's value was what it said. And then now we have the internet where it's like prices are changing by the second. And so
it was a very, very slow stock market.
Yeah, and I think you touch on a very important point, is that with answers at our fingertips, people no longer seek to understand. They just answer. And in like the Google era, you know, it's like, well, Google says it, so you know what? I'm too busy. I've got a K-cup. Yeah, I've got to make a coffee. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. Well, I'll just Wikipedia it or Google it. And it's like life needs to slow down a little bit for some of these people.
People have not developed a sense of delayed gratification. Back in the 80s when I grew up, you know, if you wanted something, well, you better start mowing lawns. It's going to take you all summer, and eventually you get what you want, if it's a bike or what have you. Now it's like, you know, the parents will fork over cash because it's much easier to just throw money at something and get it now. Look at the microtransactions thing with EA and other games. You know,
we got them on that one though.
Yeah, well, if you can't do the work to get Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker and all that shit, oh hell, throw $60 more down. You already paid into the game as it is. Now they own your ass. That's because people don't have patience. They don't have the delayed gratification. I've been working since May with no job, mind you, to get a brand new video card for my computer. It's driving me batshit crazy, but I'm finally getting it Monday.
God.
But it's taken me all these months to earn it, and it makes it much more satisfying.
Yeah,
People
you'll actually
nowadays
appreciate it.
exactly. Whereas people that have that just thrown upon them, they are more likely to throw it away when it doesn't work out the way they like. My brother worked for a school district that's pretty rich, and there is a lot of times these kids would throw away brand new iPhones, just throw them in the trash. And my brother, as a janitor, would see them in there and like, oh, whose phone is this? Oh, we don't want this. It's got a scratch on the screen.
Dude.
Multiple $100 cell phone, and they just throw it away as if it's nothing because their parents paid for it.
Right, they don't value shit. It's like I don't know about anybody else here. Like the first car I ever drove was a piece of shit. It was
you loved it though. You
Exactly.
loved it, I bet.
It was a turd that had wheels on it, man, and you know, and it smelled like horrible. But I loved that car. I treated it like it was my girlfriend. You're
because it was
absolutely
freedom.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. My first vehicle was a 1984 Chevy Suburban. My dad hit a deer with it going 70 miles an hour. He gave it to me as a graduation gift.
Ha!
I had to fix the radiator. I had to bungee cord a grill from a 1973 Chevy pickup to the front just so it wouldn't look so bad. The driver's side headlight aimed at the second story window of every house on the passenger side of the road. It was held together with duct tape, bungee cord, and paint.
That's right.
And I loved that fucking truck.
But who cared, right? Like my first car was a 96 Ford Tempo. It was a piece of shit, but it was freedom. All I cared was and you know what? My parents, I washed dishes for 3 summers to buy that car. And it was like, I think I paid $1,000 for it. And I waxed that thing. I bought a bra for it. I put a stereo in it. I didn't care. It was just like, this is freedom. A car means I can get a job. A job means I can get girls. You know, like a girl or a car, you know, a job means I can buy weed, or a job means I can buy the video games I want. Like, I'm very thankful. I think I wouldn't have said this, 10 years ago, but now I'm older and, I'm an old lump of coal now, but I'm really thankful my parents didn't give me everything. Cause I have a brother-in-law who's actually 9, which is kind of funny, but he has everything. Yeah.
You said you lived in the Midwest. I didn't think it was the South.
Yeah. My wife was born when her parents were like 15. And so they had like I think probably an oops baby in their late 30s, or maybe they wanted him or not. But regardless, like, this kid is so spoiled. And I'm like, what are you going to buy him for a car? Like, are you going to buy him a brand new car? Like,
Get that
I'm
Denali.
so thankful. Yeah, I'm so thankful that my parents made me work for everything. They didn't have much, but they taught me, like, you can have a car. We'll even like co-sign a loan or whatever, like, but you're going to pay every penny. My parents used to drive me to work every day so I could go wash dishes. My parents would work every day from like 6 in the morning till 4, come home, feed me and my sister dinner. And then my mom would drive me to work every night at like 6 o'clock and then pick me up at like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And I washed dishes and I did whatever it took to buy that car.
Busted that ass. Geek Thula, were you gonna say something, man?
Oh no, I said get that kid a Denali for his first car.
Yeah, right. He won't even appreciate it.
No shit.
You're talking about freedom of it, man. I had to pay for every repair out of my own pocket. My parents didn't help me with any of that, but I got to go camping whenever I wanted to, go fishing whenever I wanted to. When I worked at a trap shoot field, I could camp there in the back of my Suburban like a king. Everyone else was bitches in tents. I had it on 4 wheels.
Yeah. You know what? I wonder, were your parents? This is how my parents were. My parents worked hard. They worked hard. They didn't give me shit. But the stuff I bought, like I bought my car and my parents never told me where I could and couldn't go. They never said, they didn't care if I was 30 minutes late for curfew. Like they were tough, but they also like gave me some respect. Like, you bought the car, you do what you buy whatever kind of car you want, you do whatever you want. It's your thing. Like, they never tried to control the things that I earned either.
Right. It's freedom. You know, it's like this is what it's like to be an American. You know, I see what you're saying. It's almost like a libertarian aspect to child rearing.
Yeah, if they would have bought me my car, they would have told me, you know, oh, you got to have the car home by 9 or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, these were known strings. But when I bought my own car, my parents never said anything. They're like, do whatever you want. You know, if you're late, whatever, you want to do it. We never told me, oh, you can't leave the stage. You can't do. They didn't care. They just, and I didn't know it was that important then, but now I'm so thankful for that.
Oh yeah. And my parents, you know, they were fine with me leaving. Of course, at the time that I was able to do all this, I was 19. So, you know, an adult, I can go wherever I wanted. The only thing is, you know, if I didn't get home before, say, 2 in the morning, all the doors in the house were locked.
Yeah, sleeping outside. Yeah, I had to do that plenty. Yeah.
But at least I had a sleeping bag in the back of a Suburban to do it in.
Yeah. There were nights I slept in my car because it was like they were making a point.
Yeah. I knew how to break in.
Yeah. There were times I did that too, and then they made me pay for the repairs.
You're under their roof. You got to respect their rules.
Yeah.
Even if you're off the property.
Red's got a question she wants to ask you, Jeremy. You cool?
Actually, Jeremy, did you look at the side chat over there?
Oh no, I haven't.
In the Hangouts. In the Hangouts.
Okay, I see it now. You need a wrench?
No. Down below, the last one, the last comment I put in.
Oh.
That was 2 comments.
Yeah. Of course. Wow. Thanks for that.
Yeah, sorry. So this was the topic that really got me interested. This is before the Magic the Gathering kerfuffle.
Yeah.
But I'd caught your video about this YouTuber. What is it? Hood TV.
Yeah.
That was. Would you mind telling everybody about that? And last I saw was the update where the victim came on and talked to you, but then I didn't see anything about the person who.
Yeah, isn't that funny? After I had the guy, so a friend of mine reached out and said, "Hey, you're looking for something to cover for your channel? Look into this." He sends me the link to the Reddit post, which was at the time blowing up. This guy bought a set of VR goggles. So I sold it to somebody. That person took the goggles, then reversed the PayPal charge, like reversed the PayPal payment later. He paid him via PayPal, reversed it. So basically, the guy got charged back for the money and also was out his VR goggles, which at the time was $400 or $500, maybe $600. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was 600. Remember for the video, it was 600, and his was worth more because it was a prototype during the GoFundMe, so his would have been even more expensive, but he sold it for 600.
Yeah, he had all the custom add-ons and stuff. And he later, out of dumb luck, actually noticed his rig in this guy's video. And like a completely unrelated website. So hence the Reddit thread. So then I reached out to the guy and said, hey, would you mind if I try to help resolve this for you? And I said, I can get a hold of this guy because he's clearly a sub whore. And I can reach out to him and say, like, hey, I told him, I'm like, hey, I got this Unsleeved Media account. I got like 150,000 subscribers, dog. You want to do a collab? And he immediately replied and said, yes. I said, hey, can we talk about this, whatever's going on, And he said, yeah, no problem. I'd love to tell my story, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, great. We're going to talk tonight at like 10. Well, I brought on the victim first because his case was extraordinarily compelling. The Reddit evidence had me basically convinced. But brought him on, and then lo and behold, Hood Gaming TV declined my interview after I brought him on it, and then called me a white supremacist. But this guy, he lost the case. Like the police are involved. This guy is going to get justice.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I haven't posted a follow up because he can't because it's tied
up in court.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, this guy's getting some sort of. The victim that I never aired. He sent me all the phone calls. He recorded every phone call between him and Hood Gaming. So I knew Hood was guilty. I didn't play them because I didn't want to get sued, because different states have different rules about recording phone calls.
Yep.
So, and certainly about broadcasting them on YouTube. So, so the guy sent me all the calls. This guy was like calling him saying, oh shoot, sorry, I'll get you your money. I don't know what happened, blah, blah, blah. Like, if some random person was accusing me of, I don't know, buying something from them that I didn't buy, and then, you know what I mean? Like, why would I offer to pay them? I'd tell them to go to hell. If someone just called me up randomly and was like, dog, you bought this thing from me and reverse your payment, I'd be like, what? And then, but instead, Hood Gaming was like, oh, shoot, I'll pay you, but then you got to tell everyone that you exploited
You were
me.
extorting me, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the part I watched that video, and the part I caught was the one where you were supposed to interview Hood Gaming TV, and it was supposed to happen, but because it was like a 2-segment part of your video I watched, and I was just, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, wait a minute. So this guy, the way the guy sounded, and then I watched the video from Hood Gaming TV, and oh my God, all the freaking commercials that were in it.
Oh my God, 10 ad breaks. 10.
Yes. Oh my God. And the way he was defending himself and like basically shitting on this other person, like, and then his business he used to run, that was a shady business. I mean, it just reeked of, this guy. And then apparently this guy had also done this to other people in his hometown.
Yep. His entire business was modding Xboxes so people could steal Xbox games. Like, he had a store open, and that's what he did. And so he's not a great, he's not exactly, highest moral fiber. And yeah, that was so funny to me. I was like, dog, you're so guilty. What are you, nuts? How are you going to put up a video? In his response video, first of all, when I saw the 10 ads, I knew he was guilty. Like, oh, okay, right. 10 ad breaks and get out of here. But he goes, he posted this thing on Reddit. I don't really know what Reddit is. It's like a forum. He explains what a forum is.
Full of white supremacists.
Yeah. He's like, it's mostly white supremacists. What? Reddit couldn't be more liberal. You know what I mean? Like,
they're equal opportunity assholes.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, that's fair. I'm sure there are corners of it.
Isn't Reddit like a step up from Tumblr?
I don't know. I've never been on Tumblr. I don't know what it is.
I've never bothered with.
It's probably.
I don't deal with Tumblr or Snapchat.
I think it's a step sideways. I think they're. It's just I stick with the old 4chan.
See, me, I don't even use Reddit. I've been on it a couple times, but I don't really use Reddit. I just don't really care for other people's opinions, I guess.
Oh, there's a couple.
What are you doing on YouTube?
There's a couple of subs I'll turn you on to, man.
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to politics, I'm on YouTube, but except I run a gaming channel. I don't do politics on my channel, so this is where I do it, right here.
Yeah, these are NSFW that I'm talking about. Some
noise.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, now see, the Mercolium, my husband, he's like, well, if you want better views or something on your YouTube, I guess you're supposed to go to Reddit and post about it, and it'll like put views to your channel. I'm just like, that's just too much for me. Just dealing with Twitter, Discord, and YouTube's enough for me. Good.
Yeah, no shit. It's great. Oh, man, and did y'all see that the fucking VidMe's going tits up, man? December 15th.
Damn it all. That's
isn't that fucked up?
VidMe's going?
VidMe.
Yeah. They threw in the towel.
Yep.
How about you want to bet YouTube or Twitch bottom out?
Yeah.
Silence the competition. That's my conspiracy theory.
Puts on tinfoil hat, but I could see that.
Yeah,
I could wear my hat for that.
VidMe was no competition for YouTube. I literally went to VidMe once, and it was by accident. And then I looked at it a little bit, watched one video on it, and hated it, and left VidMe because it didn't like the way their platform was. I don't know. I just enjoyed the.
I actually liked it, to be honest. Better. I liked it as a creator anyway, because it was like you had the old style of like YouTube channel where you could actually control how things look, and like I did like it, but I mean the audience was entirely people on YouTube who were like, go check it out on
Right.
VidMe. Like it didn't have any organic following. That's what killed them.
Yeah. Well, see, what's crazy is we actually ended up getting quite a few more views and a bit more traffic. I mean, my channel has a whole whopping 102 subs, and my husband's has 150 something. But I mean, even within the first couple times he posted to VidMe, it ended up on the front page, and we got more views. I don't know if they were repeat views or not. He's the one into statistics, not me. But it did do a bit for smaller YouTubers, and I guess IRATE Bear got some more views off of it, but nobody really went hardcore for it. And I think what really killed him was that there was to make money. It was more of like a directory of you put it here and it directs you to another site. Had they actually done something with ad revenue or something along those lines, then they would have stood a better fighting chance.
If they would have had, oh shoot, I'm sorry. Go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
No problem. My problem with it is that I got 4 videos up, and of course I do my videos over 30 minutes for gaming content, and I have 550 subscribers. Not very big, but a little bit of reach.
It's all relative.
And yeah, exactly. So my videos run a little long, but 30 minutes is the limit. And so that meant I couldn't put any more videos up on VidMe unless I got verified. So
verifiably nuts.
I tried passing along that, hey, check me on VidMe, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I got 7 subscribers. Yay.
Yeah.
143 more is needed.
Right. You need 50 for them to even consider it, and it's just it's like, what side of your ass do I have to kiss to get certified, man? So yeah, they were a little bitchy about that shit, man. They should not. I think that was one of their big problems. I agree, Silverblade.
If they took that chokehold out, a lot of small channels could have gotten out there, and it would have built onto VidMe. They could have had the revenue to stay afloat, but they choked themselves to death.
It was a bottleneck, exactly.
Well, they tried to. I think they were trying to control costs. The one thing I thought they rolled out too late, which was a genius feature, was the tipping. Like
the tip jar.
Yeah.
Well, it basically merged Patreon and YouTube. Like people could pay to subscribe to you. This is a very attractive feature for a creator to not have to
people watching it, unless you're really good, though.
Well, you didn't have to restrict your content. You could still say donate or not, and then every video you put out can just be for everyone. So you didn't have to use it in that way. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Sorry.
Red, this dude's a channel guru, man. Check. How many channels have you run successfully now, Jeremy?
I can tell you I have abandoned channels with over 100,000 subscribers.
From what you've been doing this for what, 9 years?
Yeah, very long time.
Yeah, I pay attention.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah. I mean, I liked it for creators, but one thing that you guys mentioned too, it was great, honestly, a great opportunity for smaller creators to be able to cut through the noise. You said, basically, I've been partaking in my relaxation inhalant here, but somebody said, one of my videos, they reached the front page, I got a bunch of views. That would just have never happened on YouTube.
Oh, God, no.
Those days are gone. So VidMe was good for small creators, but I can't imagine. I mean, YouTube is just going to be it. The only hope we have is Twitch. The only hope we have is Twitch.
What about PewTube or BitChute? Neither one of those?
No. See, here's the thing.
It has to be Twitch or nobody.
Monetization has got to be the biggest driver.
Right, you got to be able to look what they did. They brought H3 over, basically. H3 basically abandoned YouTubing, and I watched that sort of stuff. Why? They're probably making, by my estimate, $50,000 a month just in Twitch Prime subscriptions.
Are you talking about H3, Ethan and Ela?
Yeah,
I love H3.
I used to watch them before they started doing those god-awful long podcasts. And I don't know, maybe it's just my boredom factor, but I mean, it's I love their small videos where they just get to the point and talk about stuff. but the longer ones I can't do, and that's just me. But I love it when they do like their either like reaction, response, or interesting, and they want to talk about it. And it's just honestly, unless I'm cleaning house, I can't sit down for that long and listen to something.
Did you see one of their newer videos they posted about a month ago, where it's like Ethan had the giant vape machine with like a screen on it and everything, and he was just walking around LA or whatever, just smoking this giant vape with like 150 batteries on it and stuff. It was amazing. I don't know. I love H3. I'm just like a huge H3 fan. I just love that stuff.
They are funny, man.
And see, what I love about it is they were so humble about it with their beginnings, and you listen to how they started and how Ethan and Hila got together. They both went to do the Jerusalem thing. I can't remember what they called it, but he got the church paid for him to go to Jerusalem, and the military paid for her to go to the to do the back to your roots kind of thing. And they met during that. And Hila, I love her because she's just so humble, and she'll still call Ethan on his shit. That's what I love. Is that she looks like the perfect wife. She takes care of things, but still calls her man on his shit.
See, do you know what is funny? H3 Productions' first ever video. If you scroll back all the way to like the very beginning first video, it's literally about how people wipe their butt basically after they poop. After they take a shit, it's about how you wipe your butt.
Okay.
That's
literally what the first video is about.
All right, so
sitting there talking about that.
All right, so Rock'em Sock'em Mock'em is like what I like to call you. So last week you were queer for PewDiePie. Now you're queer for Ethan.
Okay, look.
He's just queer. He's just queer.
No.
He is the new queer kid stuff. He is the stuff queer kids are made of.
I'm just
Say
a
my
big
pretty
fan
penis,
of.
Occam. Say my pretty penis.
No, why? Why do you guys like it when I say that?
Even without a webcam, we can see your face is glowing red.
Yeah.
It's not.
Jeremy, we love messing with Occam. He's fun to troll with.
Jeremy will be right back in a minute. He had to go. His wife just got home, so he'll be back in a minute.
Oh, you gotta say hey to the significant other, the SO.
Hey, we got to take care of our loved ones first. YouTube comes somewhere on that line after that, but you got to take care of those that love you first.
Family first. That's right.
Occam, are you still going to go with a cartoon bear for your avatar in your videos? Just busting your balls, buddy.
Yeah, I know. But I've got Duel is working on. He got to start on working on my new channel banner and stuff, and he's getting to work on all my new channel art. Like, he's doing a complete overhaul on my channel art, dude. Like, it's gonna be amazing. And I'm gonna have my first video out this week for sure, because it's gonna be funny. It might not be that long, but it's gonna be a funny first video for my new kind of content that I'm doing. And I know I still don't have any videos because I privatized all the other ones. Maybe I shouldn't have.
And so you're doing this is the cooking stuff you were talking about, right? You're gonna be doing these cooking videos now.
Cooking video? What?
Yeah.
I'm not doing cooking.
Are you gonna teach Opal how to cook?
No, no. He's doing his grandmother's cookies and cake.
No.
And stuff.
Is it going to be just like Mama used to make?
No.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Are you going to make a Rice Krispie treat for us?
My videos, just a disclaimer to all listeners, my videos have nothing to do with cooking. I'm doing videos for entertainment now.
What's a cucking video? I never heard of it.
Cucking, teaching people how to cuck.
That might be that might be a great genre.
I can start a new genre. Like, I'll teach you how to cuck.
Yeah. You think you're a cuck? Let me teach you something.
I'm a brother cucker.
Yeah.
Call your subscribers brother cuckers.
We're gonna get cucked up now, man.
Yeah.
He'll have a new segment on his channel called Cucks That Cook.
Oh, that's even better.
How about cooking with Cucky?
Oh yeah, I think we're onto something here.
Rock'em Sock'em Occam's doing his cooking with cucks.
So
Cooking with
now,
Cook.
now we're going to stir the soup, and you're just going to sit there and watch. Don't look at me in the eye. Just watch.
No,
We're going to stir it. Going to put a little salt in there. Don't look at me.
You're going to watch somebody else stir your pot, is what it is.
That's right. Yeah.
Else stir your pot.
We're going to bring in a good friend of mine, and he's going to stir my pot.
You own the utensils, but he's
And I'm
going
like,
to use them.
I think we need a little more salt in there. And they're like, no, we don't. I'm just like, okay.
Whatever you say. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, you know, talking about hobbies and stuff, man. It's like my main hobby that it's kind of, I've abandoned it for a little while. I'm on one of those hiatuses you were talking about, Jeremy. I build models, like, you know, plastic models of, like, you know, war machines, tanks and aircraft and shit. And that's why Silverblade, we were talking about the R2800 and stuff. We got a long story about that particular engine. But anyway, but what I was saying is people are like talking about, well, this Magic's so expensive and stuff, and this, like, and you know, one day I came to the realization, because I was watching this guy talk about what were they, palm trees, right? And this dude knew, it was so weird. It was on TV, and like I had this epiphany. It's like everybody is like queer for something stupid, right?
That's
you know,
cool though.
Yeah, exactly. I got like to some kind of like spiritual understanding of, like, this dude was into trees like I was into models, right? And
you gotta respect that.
Exactly. I don't judge anymore. I don't judge that shit. You know, people talk about the cost. I say, look at golfers, man. You know,
who gives a shit about golf? But
I
some
was trying to
people
put a ball in a hole.
some motherfuckers pay thousands of dollars for shoes, man, for a pair of shoes with spikes in it. You know, it's like, who am I to judge that, man?
Well, it's just like professional trap shooters. They'll spend $30,000-$40,000 on custom gear for a shotgun to blast some clay discs out of the air.
What's their problem with traps? I mean, they might be gay, but Jesus, why are they shooting them?
Well, see, I have it on good authority. I have it on good authority from Base Trap Kayla that as a female, if I'm attracted to a trap, I'm gay, because then it's considered lesbian sex and it's still gay.
No, you can't.
The question I have is, how do you fling Blair White up in the air high enough that you can get her with a shotgun?
Trebuchet.
It's all about
Trebuchet. Nice one. No, I was gonna say, Silverblade. That brings me back to that, you know, Pratt and Whitney R2800 engine. I had an argument about this fucking engine, you know, for 3 weeks on a forum with this dude. It was he and I would literally like wake up and boom, it was all day long. We were arguing about the engine and it's like where it was made, how it was made, and what version went in this aircraft versus that. And so it was like, you know, I was telling Jeremy, that kind of dedication, that's the love that only a person that really loves their hobby can have, man. You know, only people that, you know, are that are like cucked over it. You know, they're all cucked up over it. They're I was trying to bring back that joke, but obviously that failed. The motherfucker.
Yeah, nice try though.
Like trying to bring back porch monkeys. Taking it back. Taking it back.
All right. Well, Jeremy. Oh, something I wanted to bring up was the you were going to interview the girl from Laurier College. Yeah, Lindsay from Laurier College.
Honestly, I'm going to have to be honest. I watched that video right before we started this stream. I watched that video.
Yeah, I watched it earlier too. Tell us about that, man, because this is some interesting stuff, and it kind of comes back to this whole deplatform bullshit.
Yeah, you know, the only casualty really, outside of the channel strike, which is a mild rectal itch, it's not that big of a deal, is that it cost me this interview with Lindsay, and that sucks, but I kind of understand. So I had an interview with Lindsay Shepard, the young woman in the center of this Laurier University stuff, and some of the people that it was like just the perfect, the most perfect, imperfect timing. And well, a lot of these people were like on this brigade against me. They were sending her this stuff. Like, that's how deep they went. They left the Unsleeved Media channel, came to TheQuartering. So I was trying to talk to her, sent her like, not threats. She didn't say anything about threats. So like, I read her literal email that just that people were telling her, emailing her, messaging her to not interview with me because of whatever was going on with Magic. So she,
Well,
go ahead.
Oh, so no, I was interrupting you. Go, please continue.
Well, I mean, it's a fine stopping point. Now I've already stopped. Now you've ruined it. So ask your question.
Looked it up. I read it up.
Yeah.
No, what I was gonna say is like, I don't understand why she would. I can kind of understand why she might think it's a little sensitive, but it's really only sensitive with the Magic community and with the other subscribers and people that I've noticed in your comments section that like leave any messages. They're not just necessarily Magic the Gathering crew. They're just people out in the whole wide world, and you're getting a lot of support from them. And if she were to actually take her time, and I know she's really busy with everything that has happened to her and the spotlight she's all of a sudden been thrust into, that it might seem a little weird, but I'm hoping maybe she'll look at your content, and maybe if enough of us get together that aren't in the conspiracy, if enough of us say, hey, look, yeah, Magic the Gathering, that's just a PC, thing going on with political correctness, and it's just a stunt. If maybe she were to look into it, she seems like I think she'll come to her senses and talk to you.
Yeah, I think the way it was probably painted, there's some kind of like I don't know, the way that Sprankle chick is like trying to paint this stuff. She's doing this whole rape culture horse shit, and and playing the victim like that. It's like I can see how she could be manipulated. For everybody that's listening, that's not listening live to the stream. If you're listening to it a little later on, we're referring to this the girl that was interrogated for 40 minutes in front of a tribunal in her Canadian University of Laurier College
by the PC Gestapo.
Exactly. It was her professor, the direct professor. She's a teaching assistant, works her direct professor, his boss, and then their gender compliance person from the college.
Wasn't it?
Which is this is the shit. This proves exactly what Jordan Peterson said was going to happen, right? If they passed C-16 last year, and sure as enough, this thing proves it. And she was talking today on Rubin Report that the whole part of the deal is that her boss proved all that Jordan Peterson stuff, and the fact that he proved that he was right pisses him off even more. How would you like to be that person? Don't be that guy, right?
Did you guys see the follow-up videos that the Rainbow Room or whatever they're putting out there? They protested across the street from where she was a speaker at an event, and that they're talking about that trans students deserve an apology.
Yeah, well, that's this, Vox Day, right? SJWs always lie, SJWs always project, and SJWs always double down. This is what they're doing, they're doubling down, right? But the thing with her, like, yes, we're all friends here. I can tell you what I really think is the situation. And this is this, I will tell you, a CREEM stream exclusive. Here's what I think is true, and I would have done exactly the same thing. She's probably getting interview requests. I mean, she was on Rubin Report. Who the fuck is TheQuartering compared to the Rubin Report and actual TV? Okay, so she's like probably got a million interview requests. She agreed early on before she started to get a bunch of these other ones, and then someone gave her literally any reason to just be like, you know what, fuck it. And I would have done the same thing. Like, honestly, if I didn't know me from Adam, and all of a sudden I was like, God, I'm a full-time student. I got all this shit. I got to fly out to California. I got to do this. And then somebody says he's a woman hater. I don't even have time for it. And like, I feel like I would have reacted the exact. Now, this is not what she said. And she was polite. And maybe she'll still come on tomorrow. I put her in the video title on purpose, so I knew she'd see it.
Right.
And maybe she'll come on, But if she doesn't, I don't think Lindsay Shepherd's dumb. I think she's actually a fucking evil genius.
Yeah. Oh my God. If you listen to the video or the audio and you hear when she starts to cry.
Yeah.
I know with being a female that when you get upset about something and then you get angry at yourself for being upset, you start to cry just out of anger, not so much out of like,
I don't
you're
think
actually
she
sad
was
about the
weak.
thing.
That was frustration. That wasn't manipulation.
Yeah, that was frustration. But then if you listen to the way she poses her responses to him, I mean, she's quite brilliant with her words. That's why she's a fucking assistant in that class. And the crazy part is,
I was going to say,
it was only 15 minutes she showed and got like 40 minutes of retribution for it.
Well, hours and days now, you know, she's getting, think about that 50 minutes. But what I was going to say is Jeremy, you know, is given the situation, you know, I want to double down and thank you again for showing up to this stream, because, you know, since you and I like communicated like last Friday, you've been on like what 7,000 streams now, and of course,
I'm a man of my word. I said I'd be here. I'm here.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, because today, you know, Andy Worski, who's, you know,
he did scoop you. He scooped you. You're right about that.
The biggest. Well, he's the, you know, one of the biggest YouTubers in this community, man. You know, it's like you know, I could see a parallel with what you were just talking about with her in the Rubin report, right? And so that even, you know, makes me even more grateful, you know, that you showed up, man. But you are a man of your word, and I appreciate that big time.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate you appreciating it. I am a man of my word, and I said I would be here, and therefore I am. And but I mean, I guess if it were me, I still would have done it because I am that way. But I do empathize with her, and I think Lindsay is very smart. She wasn't putting on tinfoil hat. It wasn't a coinky dink that she recorded that meeting. She knew that's how it was gonna go.
Right.
Oh,
I had that questioning too. I was just like, wait a minute. Why would she start recording that unless she knew this was going to go sideways?
She knew. Because, you know, you'd be like, if I needed to, like, if you were like, yo, can you quick record something on your phone? I'd be like, I don't know how to do this. Like, I would have had to find an app or whatever, you know, like, she had that perfectly planned. She had it. She knew all along. And God bless her for it. This is an admirational thing. Like, I'm giving her mad props, but you know, she's no she's not dumb pumpkin. Yeah, she's smart.
She's no babe in the woods.
I think she's like what could be considered like a master at the art of trolling. And I say at the art of trolling. And not that she's trolling, but it's like you have people that troll, you know, fuck you, go to hell, kill yourself, that kind of stuff. And then you got the ones that do it in such a way that when you look at it, you're like, oh, there's layers on this shit. And I think she's that kind of smart when it comes to dealing with SJWs. Because I seen that video that Red was talking about where those rainbow jerks were saying, you know, we're at Pratt, blah, blah, blah.
Destroys them.
Oh, yeah. But she does it in a very, it's almost like a Ben Shapiro kind of way to just concisely and cleanly slice. There you go. You know, it just seems that way to me anyway.
Right. I think that echoes what Jeremy had said earlier. You know, that you know, she is a next level player, I guess, you know, for lack of a better term. Exactly.
He's playing chess. Everyone else playing checkers, at least in her small neck of the woods.
Yeah.
She's playing chess. They're playing sorry.
Canada. Good old Canada.
Hey, how do you get 4 Canadians out of your pool? You ask them nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's classic, man. It's
hashtag dad jokes, but
yeah. Well, yeah, you live like near the border now, don't you? I mean,
close. I mean, roughly. I mean, relatively speaking,
a lot closer to me.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Like, I could get there in a 6-hour drive.
You know,
where are you at, Courtney?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh shit, dude, you're across the lake from me.
Hey, T-Tax here in the chat.
Hey, T-Tac.
T-Tac, you want to come in, dude?
Yeah, can you see what T-Tac's recipe for cooking with cuckening?
Jesus.
I'm working on the title. Give me it. It's been a long. I've been streaming for 2 days straight. I'm gonna get there though. I'm gonna find something. It'll be great. I was talking with Worski about offline after we were streaming. We were talking about how you look at some of these YouTube channels where it's like there's literally a channel of a dude stabbing toy baby butts with a syringe.
Oh, H3 covered
that.
that.
Yeah, H3 covered it, right?
Oh,
like,
dude.
I feel like, what am I doing with my life? Why don't I just sit? I'm down in my basement. I'm sure I could like grab two things that are completely unrelated and just start putting videos out. And then just like, we were talking about how hilarious it'd be to have like the Spider-Man versus Elsa thing on the side, like quietly, and then use it to fund our like commentary channels. We have like huge budgets, on-staff animators, and people are like, what the fuck is going on? You know, it's like,
YouTube?
Yeah, making that fucking baby syringe money.
Dude,
Make the running joke be, the CG still looks fake.
Yeah.
Did you see that? You know, was when Philly D kind of like exposed all this deal. Some of those cartoons were so weird, man. It would be like,
I don't even understand them. I try to watch them.
I know, man. It's like Mickey Mouse with like Hitler's mustache, right? Like giving an enema to this, you know. And then there was these little kids, like, oh my God, with the busted heads and shit and rocks and stuff, and it was like, holy fuck, what is this shit? And and then on top of it, he says, you know, the people are parking their kids in front of this shit, and they're just soaking it in, man. You know, for hours at a time. Go ahead, Red.
Well, see, I've got 3 daughters. My oldest just turned 18 today, so now I guess she's adult. But my other 2, my 10 and my 5-year-old, they watch YouTube at their when we're doing our show on Sundays, and I looked through the YouTube Kids shit that they were watching, and they pointed me in the direction of these Minions cartoons, and I sat there and started watching. I'm like, okay, it's a knockoff Minions, fine, whatever. And there was some weird content, and then also I saw the one where they peed on one side of the wall, and the other Minion drank it, and my kids are laughing at this, and apparently all the kids, and I live in a tiny town. I mean, little farming rural community, and apparently all the kids are watching this stuff. And with the kids now being given Google Chromebooks to watch things, and they're actually started Gmail accounts, which opens them up to YouTube, and they can watch at their school these videos, and the teachers aren't really watching it. And of course, kids being kids, they're going to watch what they can when they want to until they get caught. And it's just really screwed up. My kids have actually watched that, and they've asked to watch it again. I'm like, no, we're good. No.
Well, that's where all the money is. So that's the crazy thing, right? These dudes did when Ethan and Ela interviewed the Spider-Man versus Elsa, or even SoFlo too, they alluded to some crazy numbers. Like the best commentary YouTubers might have like a $4 to $5 earnings per 1,000, and that's if you're really PC friendly kind of thing. These guys are making like $30 per 1,000 views.
What?
They would put these, $30 CPMs, $20 to $30 CPMs, and they were getting millions of views. And you mentioned it. This is what I told Worski too. It's like the modern day babysitter, and you have every kid out there. I just bought one for my niece, 4-year-old niece, an Amazon Fire Book for kids. And what does it come with? YouTube Kids. Right. And if you're an advertiser, you know what I mean? Like, it's genius. These advertisers are tripping over themselves to advertise toys and whatever.
Try the new Soylent Green for kids.
Yeah, right. And then everybody figured it out, and they moved into that. I mean, those dudes probably made hundreds of thousands of dollars for the 3 or 4 months. They had some videos. Remember when first H3 exposed them, when they didn't know who they were, They had like a video with 50 million views.
Jesus.
I mean, if you just back into the math, that's 150 grand.
God damn.
You know?
Didn't YouTube finally shut down
Yes.
the Spider-Man Elsa stuff? Like, I think they deleted that.
Yeah, they
went in and
they shut down a lot of that type of content, which I think hopefully was a result of Philly D kind of shedding some light on it. They didn't give two shits about Ethan and Ela showing it because they didn't approach it in the right way. They just were like, ha 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 ha, this is absurd. But
Philly D is like, this is fucked up.
Yeah, this is fucked up. What you're just parking your kids in front of this stuff. Like this is not right, you know?
Well, see, as a mother, I mean, I will let my kids watch stuff on my phone or on our tablet, and my kids get upset at me when I come over and check on them every few minutes just to make sure. They're like, Mom, we're just watching cartoons. It's kid stuff. I'll be the asshole. I will be the asshole. That I have no problem being the one that's the mean person. And my 10-year-old, she's like, Mom, but I watch Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm like, not on my tablet, you don't. Yeah,
what is that? Is that a cartoon now?
It was a jump scare that
I remember the game.
It was a video game. Yeah, and then they started doing spin-off cartoons.
It's basically half of Markiplier's channel for a long time.
Yeah,
well, they started
I knew the
doing
video
cartoons
game
as well. They started doing animated, like people would do fan art and fan videos and fan movies and stuff, and it spun off into a whole weird world. And I mean, and my oldest thought it was absolutely just ridiculous. She thought it was kind of fun at first, but then she's like, okay, this is just retarded. But my middle child, looking to fit in with all the other kids, she's like, Mom, can I have a stuffed Chica for my birthday? I'm like, no, I'm not encouraging this. And I know they're going to be exposed to this outside of my reach, but all I can do is protect them. And I know they're going to be exposed to it, but I also know with a little bit of psychology, and my oldest, she's actually studying to become a psychologist, what exposing children to violence and certain images at an earlier age does to them. It really does desensitize a child to what's right and what's wrong and what's okay.
Right. Do you see like some kind of like, I know tinfoil hat time on this deal, some type of like pedophilic prep, pre-grooming type shit? With some of this stuff, some of this imagery, man, it seems it's just, I think of Queer Kid stuff, and what she did at first.
Oh, that channel needs to disappear.
No shit. Well, the first season, I think I figured the pattern out, man. The first season was to teach people about the different kind of people, and there's bisexual people, and those are people that love everyone, both men and women, right?
I love everyone. I just don't have sex with everyone.
No. And then the second year, they explained the social part of it, right? They explained what what privilege was, and what was the difference between this and that, right? Next year is going to be what about class, or it's going to be about the means of production. They're going to
Communism 101.
Exactly. That's exactly where my brain goes, man. I'm paranoid as fuck to begin with, man. But I mean, and is that it, Jeremy? Is that on? Is Queer Kids okay through the YouTube Kids?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Yeah, that's very. Friendly.
I know it's all
very family. That's very family friendly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, man.
Yeah, so I was telling Annie this. Like my day job is I run ads for companies that like buy ads on YouTube. Millions of dollars in ads my clients spend on YouTube every month. But I know how. I don't have any inside information on big companies like Nike who will buy like run of site ads, and they have specific things they can rule in or rule out.
Right.
Even big. I have two Fortune 500 companies that I run their ads, and we don't have any way of knowing. We have like maybe 9 checkboxes. I'm going to probably one day I'll do a video on this. I bet you a bunch of YouTubers would be interested about it. Like when I run ads, I can target a channel, a single video, or specific keywords. I can also auto exclude certain types of content. But I'm only relying on YouTube telling me whether or not it's violent or political or whatever. The categories they give you are so broad.
Well, you couldn't tell the difference between me blowing the head off of a zombie in a video game or some guy in the Middle East being kicked off of a building because he was a ISIS fighter.
Or just a typical decapitation video. Now, here's something I'd like to ask you is, you were on with Worski. I didn't get a chance to watch the stream you're on with him, but he did a video where he was talking about the codes that are in YouTube videos, like 86 or like 102 and all these different things that mean things. As somebody that, you know, runs ads for these companies, do you guys get to see those tags, or? We
do not. So what I told him, he shared all the data with me too and ran it by me on the pre-stream or offline. And what I told him is, I suspect companies like my client who spends maybe $9 million a year on YouTube is tiny compared to Samsung, who comes in and says, here's a $50 million check. Jesus. So you have these companies. It's like there's a reason. I mean, as big as people in the commentator community are, there's a reason you never see Samsung ads on a Worski video. You don't see video. You don't see. We see. You know what we get is fucking insurance companies. That's like how you know a video is double green, like super good, is when you get like an Allstate commercial.
Right.
If you go to like a AAA channel in Google's eyes, that's where you see, like, you go to what's the caveman guy?
Progressive.
Yeah, you go to Neistat's channel, you get Samsung commercials, you get Nike commercials, you get Coca-Cola, Pepsi, right? These people. Go ahead.
Well, there's channel, you can tell, like, there's companies like audible.com. You can't go to a single channel over 100,000 subs, I swear, without seeing an Audible sponsorship.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, they sponsor everyone.
And these are the people that go to YouTube with a blank check, and then they have certain demands, right? So these are the ads that most YouTubers want because they have the highest CPMs. And as YouTubers, what the fuck do we care what ads are on our videos? I can tell you this right now without any regret. If the KKK wants to pay me $50 per 1,000 videos, they can run every ad they want on my videos. Like, I don't care. I don't care. It's a commercial. It's not an endorsement.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I have purposely demonetized my own content because I'm in the mindset that I would rather have the support of my viewers. They see the value of my content rather than YouTube and advertisers. So I get more out of Patreon than I do from YouTube, and I just do it for fun. It doesn't really speak for like you guys or anybody else really that does YouTube, but for me, it's just like, you know what? I'm not gonna get freaked out one way or the other. I'm gonna control whether I get paid from them or not, and not have to worry about it.
I think that's noble, but at the same time, like, I don't think. I can only, I guess, speak for the people I talk to. Like, even bigger channels, like when I talk to Sargon or whatever about like earnings, like they don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me to, like, if we're talking about it, like, what different? If I'm gonna monetize a video, if I can earn twice as much, that's just more resources for my channel. Like, if I can, instead of saying cuck, I could say beta male, or instead of saying beta male, I could say like low T male or soy boy. Like, if I had to like use a different adjective or whatever, but the same video would earn twice as much, like, it's just, to me, fine. That's a change I'm willing to make. And a lot of people.
What about just beeping stuff? Like beep. You know what I'm saying? Like they used to do.
Yeah, like if you look at Crowder. Crowder's actually really good at that because he has to hold himself up to FCC standards because he's a radio show.
Right.
So naturally, all of his content technically adheres with FCC standards. But like I said, it's my theory, as somebody who's been working directly with Google advertising for almost a decade now, that these big companies like have a specific team, right? Like, you write Google a $50 million check, you get a team of 10 people who are like manually scrubbing which videos your ads show up on. And those are the decisions most like big creators, like any one of us, like who gives a shit if a video gets demonetized? If you're Philly D and you need to make $100,000 a day or $20,000 a day, you know, to support the 10 employees he has, it's a big fucking deal if a video gets demonetized for him.
Right. Whereas for like a guy like me, I only have 550 subscribers. It's
Who cares,
just me.
right? Yeah.
I don't have to really worry about rent because God, it took me 2 years just to get my first $100 check from Google.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, really, do I have to sweat it for advertisements? No, I'm not going to worry about that because I get like $40 a month from Patreon with my 4 patrons. I got really lucky and I got really good subscribers, so I don't really have to worry about Google and YouTube bending me over because I've taken them out of the equation.
Yeah,
I'd rather have my subscribers see the value in me, whereas YouTube does not, and that they are more invested in me than YouTube is. And that's the route I'd rather go. I wouldn't say it's noble, like you said, it might be a noble thing. It's just I don't want to deal with the bullshit. And
that's
I'd
fair.
rather people like. If people like my stuff, my Patreon is more of a tip jar than anything. You know.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think maybe I wasn't specific enough in that. I'm really just speaking about people who like do YouTube as a career or like rely on the paychecks. You know, to me, if a video like on my quartering channel, 2 out of 5, probably maybe 3 out of 5 videos get demonetized. I don't even care. I don't even submit. I don't care because I go to work, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
So when I talk about that, it's like, a guy like Philly D he could have said something different and not lost $10,000. That's got to matter to him.
Sure.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people that they make pretty decent money at doing this. I mean, honestly, if you're into YouTube, I wouldn't quit your day job until things get real stable. I mean, fortunately, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so if I quit my job, a lot of people will hurt. So, but other than that, I mean, I got my stream suspension on my channel because, well, I used to show porn bloopers and I didn't screen one, and now I'm.
Oh my God! Why is this not a channel? Porn bloopers. This sounds unbelievable.
Well, no, this last one, they lost something in someone, and then they had to go looking for it, and I didn't screen it properly first, so I got my stream ban.
Did someone lose a watch while they were stuffing a turkey?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Okay.
Was it a Live Strong bracelet?
Yeah. But I mean, it's honestly for people like me, it's just for kicks and giggles, and I've never bothered even trying to monetize my thing, or I don't even have Streamlabs or Patreon. I just do it because it's funny, and it amuses me. And if it amuses others, that's even better. But I amuse myself, so we're good. I mean, so.
That's kind of all that matters.
Right. Yeah. YouTube used to be, once upon a time, you had a hobby or you had something you thought was fun, you just put it up there and people look for things you're into. Now it seems to be either you have to do some kind of DIY, do-it-yourself type of thing, be really big at starting drama, controlling drama, and keeping it going so where there's always something dramatic going on there. Because, I mean, there's a reason Jerry Springer's still on the air. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. People love the drama.
You got to keep sucking in the suckers.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, and then there's other people, unfortunately, that do some real content that they know what they're talking about. They do it well, but because it's not flashy enough, it's not dramatic enough, it doesn't, make people go, oh, wait, what's going on? There's really not much for the hobbyist anymore, or people that just enjoy themselves. And that's really sad.
It is.
And I killed a stream.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Red killed a stream.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, damn, that's profound. That's sad. Like, I looked at my cup and I'm like, is there any? No, there's no drink even left in my cup.
See, Red's banned from drinking on Cream streams since what I did to Cognitive Thought.
I was going to say
I
was going to say that's not the only stream you've ever killed.
No. That one I murdered. Oh my God, I murdered that one.
Actually, you know what? you know, for that time when you were doing that thing on Twitter about, you know, about the apology thing, the apology tour. Actually,
yeah, pretty much what it was.
The views like quadrupled for that week, man. It was hilarious. You know, I mean, people love
put it out there like, oh god, because I came out, I drank almost an entire bottle of whiskey, and my back hurt so bad. I just downed the whole bottle, and I wasn't thinking about it. And then just when I thought I had, oh god, and I got on the stream. I don't remember anything about that stream. So watching it the first time, and then the first thing on me was my shrill Liz Reptile impression, talking about Red Dwarf, and oh god, and then I disconnected. I'm like, okay, it was only 15-20 minutes of me being an asshat, and then I came back twice.
Yeah.
Came back twice.
Well, that was the kind of thought. So, Jeremy, if you know, when you get a couple hours and you want to just laugh your ass off, you put on the Cognitive Thought Cream stream.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
And I'm normally
I mean, there's always shit you need to listen to when you're editing, you know?
See, I'm normally a semi-intelligent person with some rational thoughts here and there, but that I was just a drunk raving moron. My apparent solution to space travel was to pour whiskey between my cleavage and see who got there first, and I don't know what the hell that has to do with space travel.
Would you say it was your final solution?
Yeah.
Oh Lord! And I was thinking that the H3H3 was the JQ segment of the show. So, whoa! Oh, dude, I'm cracking the hard ones today, man. I mean, Jesus, shit. Oh man. Geek Thula's just been over there, just
everybody's been like just pretty much saying
31
everything.
people watching right now. That's pretty high
Great.
number.
Hey, Geek, check it out. There's 31 people. Perfect time for you to do something to sabotage yourself again.
30 people now.
I'll piss somebody off. I'm quiet, so that'll piss somebody off.
This is a good time for everybody to remember to like this video and to sub everybody that's here.
Subscribe to Occam's Razor.
Someday he'll do content.
Subscribe to Shirley Curry.
This week I'll have content. I swear. Like I'm not kidding this time. Like there will actually be a video up this week for real. Look,
yep. Your cooking videos begin then, right?
Cooking video, whatever, man. It's gonna be funny, entertaining videos, not lame cooking videos.
So you did get it worked out where the animated bear picture of you works?
Oh, whatever. We don't. There's no such thing as an animated. You know this.
Okay, so what animal did you change it to then? If it's not a bear?
And oh my, we know. Like you just know.
He knows.
Is T-Tac listening right now?
T-Tac is listening, and he's laughing his ass off. Maybe. Let's see. I got some other notes here. Oh yeah. When I get the OBS thing going, I stumbled onto something, and I'm not telling anybody about it until the next couple of weeks. We'll start doing this, but I found something that's really fun to do. And Jeremy, I'll DM it to you.
Yeah.
All
right, and Twitter is funny as shit.
See, really, this is the crazy thing. IRATE and I were talking about you shortly after the Hood gaming person or whatever. We were talking about that. And I was talking about you, and he's like, "Oh, have you heard about this guy called TheQuartering?" I'm like, "No joke, that's the person I'm talking about." So
it was literally a zeitgeist thing, man. We converged at the same time.
And then all of a sudden, you started popping up in the social commentary community. We're like, wait, what? I was like, wait, what's going on? And yeah, it was kind of amazing to see that a lot of people are like getting into the drama aspect of it. Honestly, what I want to see happen with this is you get, you get your name cleared to where you're not a woman basher or anything like that. It was someone who 6 months ago you said something that they didn't like, and now they don't want to do what they want to do anymore, and so they're going to use you as an excuse.
You know what I want? I want them to ban me so bad. I want them to do it. Just do it. Everyone who's listening, and hope that they ban me.
You know what? Yeah, when you were talking to Worski, I was like thinking to myself, yeah, he has talked to a really good lawyer about this. He is getting excellent legal advice because I agree with you. You like fucking make my day, right?
Yeah, I'm
Ban
waiting
me.
for it. Fucking ban me.
Ban me, bitches. That's right.
Yeah, that's
You want to start a new thing on Twitter? Ban him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ban,
That shit.
ban that evil neck beard.
Hashtag ban him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I am so ready to just like roast them with sunlight. Like,
Ban his
go
ass.
ahead. And you know what? I you know, if they ban me, it's gonna be an all-out meme jihad against like.
I'm ready, man.
I mean, I'm going to tell everyone to wear mega hats to every Friday Night Magic, and they've banned mega hats. Like, look, I'm no ultra Trump guy. I'm an appreciator of memes, and if you get triggered by a mega hat, then that, by definition, makes it kind of a meme. So I'm going to tell everyone, you know, wear your mega hats 1 week, bring your Pepe mats, and just keep forcing Wizards of the Coast to make these ridiculous public statements, like banning cartoon frogs or banning. Wait till you guys see the evidence they sent. Some of you who watch the stream saw it. Like, imagine being a lawyer and you're like, wow, this is a great job. I work for Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro. Oh, this is my first big case. Okay, big deal. We got to ban this this guy, this, you know, kind of a big name in our tiny world. Great. Okay, what's the evidence? Oh, these cartoon frogs. Okay, yeah. I have to email him this, you know. I'm a lawyer. Like, some lawyer had to put together that email with fucking Pepe memes in it and tell me that that's why they were banning me from the community. Oh, please ban me.
And Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast, right?
That's right.
So that's when you would come to court dressed up as Optimus Prime.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And so that's like they're out. When you say Wizard of the Coast, you mean Wizard like they're located where in
They were in Seattle, weren't
They're
they?
in Seattle.
Yeah, until they sold that building.
Yeah.
They
So
killed
they-
that Watsy.
So
yeah,
that's
now they're in Renton, technically.
so they'll be in the
Renton.
Ninth Circuit still, though, right? That's the Ninth Circuit covers them too. That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, most of the people everybody that has an opinion publicly from them is like not just left, but like far, like Mark Rosewater. They're probably arguably their most popular, you know, their biggest personality. If you look at his Twitter profile, I'm not kidding you, he follows Shaun White.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
Sean, not really white.
Talcum X. He follows him. So is it any like imagine my shock.gif when Mark Rosewater says he hates white men?
Big surprise, huh?
Oh man, that's just crazy. I just
Oh,
can't.
there goes
imagine
Alex
that.
Jones.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, you sound like. Can you say that? They're putting some in the water to make the frogs gay.
They always say that every time I get on this motherfucker, they talk about the fucking gay frogs. How many fucking times do you think I've heard this stuff?
Uh-oh. I think he overdosed.
Frogs. Sure, I'm
No,
shit.
irate.
I'm
You do me a favor.
shit-faced Alex Jones.
The Irate's not here. Drunken Alex Jones sleeps on Irate's
It's
couch.
not drunken.
Okay.
It's shit-faced. I am shit-faced.
Overdosed
I
on
need you to
male
do me-
vitality.
I love that.
Give me a voiceover. I need you to do
buddy.
I need you to do like an Alex Jones impression, like endorsement of the quartering, and I'll put it on a video. It'll be fucking.
That
you know how
would be awesome.
how Dankula has it at the end of his video, where he's like, "Count Dankula, everyone needs to subscribe to him on YouTube."
Well, I'll do you even one better. I'll make a whole me and just do me. Whatever you want me to say, I'll say it. And I won't even make you pay me anything. I'll just like my voice so much, I will say it. I love it. So yeah, man, you just tell Irate. I can't see really well right now, but you just tell him and he'll write it all down for me, and I'll definitely get him to get back with you, and we'll just take care of this. Give me the goddamn.
That I appreciate that. Hey,
Yeah,
tell Candace I said hi. I know she's working with you now.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. He's just he's passed back out on the couch. Thank God. Jesus Christ.
Irate.
Fucking asshole. Huh? What?
Irate.
Yeah.
Did Alex touch you inappropriately?
Oh no, man. He's too past. No, man. I hate the way he looks at my wife though. Sometimes it's.
Well, you know, sexual harassment. It's as virulent as influenza these days. So
As virulent as the virulent males that do it.
if
Well,
you
yeah,
don't,
Are you taking the? Are you taking the? What is this shit? The Oh my god, what is this product? He's got a new one, like super.
Male
green
vitality?
color.
No. All right, now this my Alex Jones. All right, he sells what's called Zapavite protein powder and pills, and it literally, if you take this product, okay, you will play guitar just like Frank Zappa, and then there's this tea that you have to buy that gives you his compositional skills. So you can compose music and play guitar as good or better than Frank Zappa. I can't take it and he can't take it. We're both violently allergic to the ingredients, but it really works. It really does.
I'll take your word for it. I've got to. I'll just say this publicly. Well, I got to piss. So you guys keep going.
everybody poops, everybody pees.
That's right. Well, shoot, man.
Not Kim Jong-un.
That's right. Oh man. See, yeah, just all right. I'll shut up about that. But
Well,
yeah,
there's that night soil that they use on the food over there. Guess where that comes from?
yeah, dude. It's human excrement, man. Yeah.
That's why they have
from the top of the hour, right?
It is almost the top of the hour. So if you guys want to go ahead and stop while we're ahead, so Jeremy can relieve his bladder, and
what we got to do.
We're right up on that 2 hours, aren't we?
We're getting
It
close.
went fast.
It did.
We ought to cheer Jeremy going to the bathroom. Go, Jeremy, go. Go, Jeremy, go. Go, Jeremy, go. You can do it, big guy. You can do it. You know, because performance anxiety and such.
Well, all right, Jeremy. Is he?
Yeah.
He is taking away. Well, hell, let's just hang out until it's time. As a matter of fact, everybody, if you want to start shilling your shit, this is the shill time in the shill pit.
I barely ever shill for my channel on the Cream stream.
Hardly.
But when I do, like, never. Like, if you go to the chat and stuff, like, I guarantee you, definitely 99% of the comments I make is not shilling.
Occam, you got to do it like the Dawsa Key guy. I don't normally shill, but when I do.
Yeah, but when I do, it's on the Cream stream, and it's 90% of what I do. But yeah, okay. Look, I know I don't have any content right now. I did, and I don't. But
what a seller!
But I will. It is coming. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be.
I don't think you understand the purpose of plugging.
It's going to be entertaining. It's worth subscribing. I somehow got 2 new subscribers already during this stream, so that's pretty good. I'm at 224. If you want to be the 225th subscriber, do it. It's worth your time. There'll be a new funny video coming this week. It'll be the first one that I have on my channel since the great channel change.
Occam is selling.
That's what I'm going to call this moment in history.
You got to do it like
potential content.
Savage.
Potential content. That's what.
Yes,
See,
it will
I
happen.
gotta figure out how to stream on Pornhub. That's where the money is.
He's like the DSP of social commentary.
Occam, you got to try to sell it like Randy the Macho Man Savage. Like, oh yeah, brother, you got to watch my shit. Oh yeah, you know, get into it, man.
Yeah, you guys got to watch my channel, guys. Just go do it. Just do it, okay?
Go there and watch nothing. Go there and watch nothing.
Do it.
Do it.
Don't
right
do it
now, there's nothing, but tomorrow there could be something. Just do it, okay? You never know what to expect. I'm not doing political content anymore. It's not political commentary stuff. It's just going to be fresh, entertaining content. It'll come. Just check it out. It'll be there.
If you believe it, they will come.
There'll be naked ladies there. There'll be explosions. There'll be puppies licking ice cream off the sidewalk. You'll want to see it. Go watch it now. It's fantastic.
Of course, Jack T. Ripper pops in when he hears Pornhub.
That's right. Pornhub, baby.
Well, yeah, and like, please check out my Pornhub account. No, I'm kidding. I'm just.
Oh, see, actually,
See, we knew, man. We knew. It's okay.
Since Red's actually banned, that's where Red's going to start streaming until her ban is lifted at the end of January. I was supposed to do a 100 sub stream yesterday, but with being sick the last couple days, I was like, nope, scrap it. I'll do it next Thursday. So, but you can stream on Pornhub, and they don't care so much about what your content is. They have ad revenue, and I mean, pretty much it's a free fuckerall.
Damn, I'm at 289, man. Shit.
Congrats.
No doubt.
What's that all about? I used to be 3 times as big as IRATE, dude. And then this
don't battle an enlarged prostate. The enlarged prostate always wins.
Yeah, his prostate got a little too big. I think we need to medicate him a little bit so we can get him back down to proper size. Don't worry, IRATE. I'll get right back up there and bigger, and I'll be doing all that cool stuff. And
well, there's a familiar scene.
Okay, well.
I thought maybe you'd appreciate it being some old Magic players. I thought you'd appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Like, dude, hold on. Actually, let me show you this. Like, for all you those youngins out there, this is how we used to get our card prices.
Young buckaroos.
Yeah.
That's classic, man. That's old school.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I still have some of mine somewhere.
Yeah, I have I collect them, so I have all the old issues, and like, if I love to go back and look at, and it's like, this is from an era when there just wasn't that many Magic sets. Like, I'm looking at this. Let's see, here's revised. Let's see what the price of an Underground Sea. The current price of an Underground Sea is like hundreds of dollars, 300 or 400.
Right.
Let's see. Any guesses? Let me tell you when this was. Hold on. This was. Oh, this is pretty new. 2006.
Whoa.
Any guess on an Underground Sea price?
I wouldn't even know these days.
900.
14 bucks.
350. Why not?
All right. All good answers. I haven't located it yet, so I'm just stalling.
What's your
I
guess?
shouldn't have given my kids my old Magic cards either. Other people sold them as, yeah, well, they it's a little bit older than many of us, I think.
The old
but no, my son had apparently kids these days don't realize that card sets you're supposed to have mana or something to attach your card to. They just played at face value and started trading, like they traded Pokemon for Magic cards, and then like My Little Pony cards that had no kind of card game. And yeah, I
could picture someone trying to trade a swamp for like a foil Pikachu or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, why not, right? Actually, we'll go with Tropical Island. Actually, why? Wait, why don't they have any? Oh, here's Taiga. Okay, Taiga mint condition, $34 in 2006.
How much is it worth now?
Looking right now, I'm thinking like 200.
How much was Black Lotus in that book?
All right, good question.
Alpha and beta.
I was gonna say which one.
All right,
I had
Alpha. This should be easy. Should be able to just see exactly what it. Okay, Alpha. Ooh, we got some big prices. Any guesses?
Mine was 350.
Right? 2006, right?
Yeah.
I would say 1,300.
Mint condition Black Lotus Alpha 2650.
Oh, that's the Black Lotus. I thought you were talking about the other one.
Yeah.
So is that now? 2006.
2006.
Beta is 2,500, only $150 less.
Damn.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. I had.
Yeah, if I wanted to go on eBay right now and buy like let's just say a legitimate PSA like 9 Black Lotus. Let's see. Here's a 7.5, which probably
slightly played.
Yeah, I mean it's graded at 7.5. $13,500.
Holy
fuck. It's time to slip my wrist. See you guys.
Yeah. Well, we are at the top of the hour, and Occam has already shilled his stuff. So, Jeremy, you want to shill?
I never shill.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're listening to this and you're here from any one of my channels, you should check out all of these wonderful people. And you know, it sounds like a couple of them might actually make some content this week. I think you should check them out. I mean, if you're here, I mean, you can catch me at TheQuartering or Unsleeved Media, but if you're here from my tweet, perhaps you should check these wonderful people out.
And I'm going to throw Jeremy's YouTube in the chat. There we go.
Thank you.
Channel I have open, and then you can find his other channels from there.
Red's got our back.
Yeah, and he actually has a really cool new channel. All you got to do is type in OCCAMSRAZOR, and it'll take you right to it.
Are you trying to be the new Whitey? Are you trying to be the new Whitey?
Say.
It's Occam's Razor, The Cuckening. It's actually a channel. They have a great series about being a cuck, and I've learned a lot actually.
All right, get through.
Get cut.
Oh, I don't even deserve to fucking plug my shit. Everybody was talking so much, I was just like, they're doing so good.
You've been watching your videos on how to be a cuck. Chill your videos, dude.
Oh, Keith knows how to be cucked. He got cucked live on the air multiple times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. You know where to find me. People know me if they know me.
I know your YouTube in the chat anyway.
And if you guys watched PewDiePie's video today, make sure you watch Geek Thulu's videos twice.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
All right,
he does do
Silverblade.
an interesting this week in drama.
Silverblade.
I never shill for my channel because I'm a gaming channel, and you guys don't come to these things to hear about gaming channels like mine. So I'm going to shill for T-Tac and Dual Wield since they're not here tonight.
Good.
Oh, pour one out for T-Tac and Dual Wheel to rest in pepperonis.
And Hot Pockets for AP.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I didn't know if you knew this, Silverblade, but Randy Monkey plays 7 days. So
Yeah,
I didn't know if you knew that. So yeah, he's talked about it a couple of times. So, Red.
Sorry, I was talking about it earlier. Well, my channel I threw up in the chat earlier, but the Red and Only. I'm gonna actually do have video I already recorded. I'm just waiting on Merc to edit it for me. But because I actually the video I'm putting out will have you know how people were bitching about that all-female Lord of the Flies remake. They don't need to remake it because the BBC channel already did an experiment in real life.
Wait, it's called The View?
No. Bear Grylls. So that's good. That'll be my first actual content that's not streaming because I just started streaming because it was fun.
Sweet.
Just for shits and giggles. But on Sundays, we do an interesting show called The Devil's Advocates on my husband's channel, The Mercolium, where you spin for either pro or con, and then you spin for your question. So some days you get to argue as a feminist, or like Geek, he got to argue as pro-feminist and got to get, he was quite the proper cuck on that stream. And we just have a lot of fun. You don't bring fat.
You don't bring fags. You don't bring.
We bring fags.
Smoke them if you got them.
So, but we have a lot of fun there on Sunday afternoons.
It's a great fun. It's a fun game, dude. It really is.
We've had IRATE on there. We've had the Geek Zulu on there. It is a lot of fun. Yeah. So you just got to bring your banter, not be afraid to talk over people.
All right, and I'm going to close it out with my own personal show. Tomorrow I'll be streaming with Sir Adamantine and Phobos Media, and we're going to be having a chin wag, as they say, with Satsu 2 Cents. And tomorrow afternoon I'll be doing with your Rory. I'll be doing what's called a whipped cream, which is a spontaneous little stream that I started last week. So. And I've got a couple of things coming up this week with shit-faced Alex Jones has got some shit he wants to talk about, and I don't know what else I'll be doing, but this time next week I've got penciled in with Tonka Saw and his lovely assistant, also known as Vamp Candy. So those two are penciled in for next week, and hopefully we can secure that. And Aydin Paladin, we do miss you, but I know you're probably trashed out there somewhere. You just forgot to show up. It's okay. We love you.
AI ready?
Yeah.
With that upcoming bit there with Tonka and Vamp. Gotta beware, there might be a impromptu Kumite.
Well, you never know. That's all I gotta say. You never know. There may be a Kumite. There may be a
Tonka's been rigging
Kumite.
them, man. You gotta watch out.
Yeah, I know, man.
Ankling me with,
we ain't going there.
He's ankling me with people that cause me to lose.
Yeah.
Well, there may be,
like a wonderful Scottish woman once said, "Fail to prepare, prepare to fail."
that's right. Well, and there may be a Kumite that leads up to the next week's show anyway. But we're on that. Remember, this here is the Cream Stream, and if you don't cream while you're watching this cast, you're not doing it right.
Right. Nope.
That's right. Right.